Press conference following Game 6 on Day 2 of the 2026 SoCon Women's Basketball Championships. We're now joined by the Sanford Bulldogs. We have with us head coach Matt Weiss, along with student athletes Kaylee Yarbrough and Francine Morris. We'll have an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions. If you do have a question, please raise your hand. We have a mic. Give your name and your media entity before asking your question. With that, Coach, the floor is yours.
Again, incredibly proud. This group has so bought into all the cliches that every coach talks about. Everybody talks about culture, everybody talks about process, everybody talks about journey. I think the challenge is getting 18 to 23-year-olds to believe that to their core through the course of a season where everybody's opinions ride on the result of the game. And this group, they could have folded. They could have folded multiple times during the season. And I thought the journey we've been on from, playing at home versus Wofford 2 months ago and getting doubled up in rebounding to going against one of the best rebounding teams in the conference today and out-rebounding them. What a growth journey. What a job by this group. I thought the effort was tremendous. We needed to make some adjustments to the way that we defended them based on the last couple times, and we kind of played some percentages. It worked out for us and in our favor. Certainly there's stuff to clean up to get ready for Sunday, but we are so unbelievably blessed and fortunate to have this group together and to get to go to practice tomorrow. We couldn't ask for a greater blessing.
All right, questions, front row.
Yeah, Jeff Birchfield, Johnson City Press. Coach, they held you to 39 points without Downing and without Lopez like a week ago. So what were the biggest adjustments you guys made to do so much better offensively today?
I said in my press conference yesterday that good coaches are made by good players. And the irony of having these two up here with me is before we played them on last Saturday, I knew that when we scouted them, when we prepared to play them the first time, prepared to play them the second time, they were determined not to let Rivera get a three off. Face guard, hold every cut, and they did an unbelievable job of doing that. They were also determined not to let Godbolt get to the rim. So they had Downing sunk back, they were quick undering with Anala, and it was really, really a tough defense for us. And what I really admire about that ETSU team is they don't give you open looks. You can get shots off, but they're not going to be open because they're there. And so you need players that can make shots over the top or turn the corner to get to the rim or make threes, even if they're contested. And I told the staff before the game last Saturday that if we got 30 from Kaylee and Francie, we're winning. And I think they could get it. And it didn't work out in our favor. Well, today they combined for 28. And so you saw the result. And so to me, it was two freshmen stepping up versus a really good defense and being ready for the moment. And all the credit in the world goes to these two.
Second row.
Alistair Pullman, Asheville FM. So going into this, what did you talk about that led to dominating in the first half, and what did you talk about in the halftime to maintain that lead?
Yeah. Our mindset going into the game was a couple things. One was when you go against a team that's this physical and that plays this hard and they're this athletic, you'll find yourself going, I have to. I have to make this shot. I have to get open here. We have to get this stopped. And once you start playing from a place of have to, then you're playing from a place of tightness. And once you're tight in this sport, you're never going to have a chance. And so we were trying to get them to buy into, you don't have to, you get to. You don't have to break to get open. You get to break to get open. You don't have to box out and go rebound. You get to box out and go rebound. You don't have to keep your composure throughout the course of this game. You get to keep your composure throughout the course of this game. And then our other message was, versus a team like this, they are never going to hand it to you. You have to go take it. And so that was a message for the rebounds. That was a message for continuing to attack in transition, all the elements of the game for us. was a mindset of, we get to do this, we're grateful, and we're going to be in attack mode, and we're going to go compete and take it. And at halftime, what we talked about, the challenge was, we felt like it was a battle of our mindset. And we talk mindset a lot in our culture. We talk the psychology of basketball. We talk about, different mentality zones for our players. And so the challenge was, no matter how this game goes, if you get up, do not slip on your mindset. If they come back, do not slip on your mindset. The challenge is to stay the course. And there were times where I felt like the players, Sierra and Bree, were challenging me in timeouts to keep my mindset. So it was cool to see the ownership by the players in that regard.
Third row, maybe questions for the student athletes.
This is Steve of Greenville Sports Media for both Francie and Kaylee, actually. A very physical game yesterday and arguably an even more physical game today. How important is recovery and post-game routine in a physical, tough tournament like this one?
Francie, why don't you go ahead?
It definitely is super hard, but we have a great coaching staff and team that has helped us so much, especially our trainers and John and Lauren. They just help us so much with just like strength and then like stretching, and then we took ice baths, so we did everything just to like help recover, but so we couldn't have done it without them, so yeah.
Yeah, like she said, we took ice baths last night, and just stuff like that. Like they prioritize that stuff, and it's really important because we also had like a stretch period this morning. So just doing stuff like that, like getting your mind right, like preparing, getting your bodies right, is like what led us to this win. Like zoning in this morning.
More questions? Front row.
Thank you. Kaya, Sanford Women's Basketball. Kaylee, I talked to Francie yesterday during this time in post-game, and I talked to her about her being a freshman and playing in the SoCon tournament. Can you speak to yourself? This is your first time in postseason play as a college athlete. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. At times, definitely frustrating. But just being able to play with this group of girls and this coaching staff is truly a blessing. And I think we just all grew so close together and so tight so quick that that's why we are able to do this, because of that bond we built, and just a lot of leaders on the team, and a lot of people have stepped up. So it's just a great opportunity for me and for everyone.
And then Coach Matt, first time Sanford's been in the women's basketball championship game since 2020. This is your first year as a head coach. This is y'all's first year as freshmen. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't invent anything. Everything I do is stolen, and so I pick the brains of people a lot smarter than me. Obviously, I have some very fortunate and blessed connections to be able to do that, but it's also one of the people I leaned on in the process of becoming head coach, besides Coach Carly, who I certainly leaned on a lot, was Sean Poppy, right, who just went through this, just did this. And we talked a lot about year one. How did they get hot? How did they make the run? What was the messaging like? And he talked to me about how for them, they didn't set a goal of winning a championship. They focused solely on the culture stuff. And again, I said it before, I get that stuff is used by everybody. So it only works if the players buy into it. And that's what he kind of sold me on was, or kind of taught me, was just get them bought in on the little things. And so one of ours that revolves around our toughness is taking charges. I mean, a lot of practices we start with taking charges. And the way that first half went, when it was charge after charge after charge, I think we got 4 of them in the first half. And our goal for the game was 4 charges. And to me, that is a perfect example of the buy-in that we were trying to create. And then I believed that the process of doing that stuff, as they tasted it, would then elevate them to this point. So as far as making it to the championship, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for them. I'm thrilled for our university. But we got to get better tomorrow. I mean, I get it, but that's how our approach is going to be. We're going to try to get better tomorrow.
Any other questions from the room? Before you go, Francie, can you talk about just the defensive effort by your team today as players? You held ETSU to 28.3% shooting from the floor, 22.6 from three. Just about doing that and defending like that in a tournament.
Okay. I think we had a great game plan by our coaches, and they told us we're going to go under every single screen and make them shoot over us because they are a great attacking team and finish at the rim. And so our goal was like, if they're going to beat us, they're going to beat us shooting the three or shooting some pull-ups. So, and then also we were like, we're going to be an aggressive team. Like we're going to be physical. And so I think that helped us a lot. And like Coach Matt said, we took 4 charges, and so got 2 of their key players like out of the game. And so that helped us like throughout the game because they were out of the game. So yeah, and we just have a great team, and like Kayla said, we all stuck together, and I think that's what makes our team like so special is that we all like care for each other and we want each other to do well, and so just having that culture is incredible, and I'm so thankful to be part of it.
All right, Coach, to you and your players, thank you. We'll see you in a couple days.
Thank you.
Thank you.